Today, we're going to explore a country that is synonymous with the phrase modern city. It has received many accolades and awards from around the world for its efficient public transport, its smart land use and public housing, and its robust economy. But how did it achieve all this? And was there a cost to the environment in its race to be a first world country? And is sustainability something engineers here only just started considering? Back in the 1960s and 1970s, and long before the expression sustainable development became popular, Singapore and its engineers already realized that sustainable planning for the limited land was needed to support competing national needs such as housing, transport, and commercial uses. Providing alternative energy, water, and food for the nation was also needed to reduce the reliance on imports. One of the first contributions by engineers was first mooted in the 1970s. Singapore's central business district needed to expand, and so the Marina Bay area began its transformation. From an empty piece of land, it is now one of Singapore's iconic destinations. Another project was to move Singapore's international airport to Changi in the 1980s, building it into one of the best and busiest airports in the world. Engineers have also built Jurong Island in the 1990s into an international chemicals hub to support its industrial needs and free up land for other lands, developing commercial and regional centres such as the Tampines Regional and Novena Fringe Centres in the 1990s, and turning them into bustling hubs. Now, one of the key projects starting in the 1970s was to target the issue of water shortage in Singapore. Though Singapore receives about 2.3 meters of rainfall annually, land scarcity and a high population density mean there is limited land available for catchment and storage of rainwater. Given such conditions, reusing water plays a critical role in Singapore's water sustainability strategy. Innovation alongside an integrated water management strategy involving rainwater collection, the purification and supply of drinking water, the treatment of used water, and further reclamation into new water, Singapore's own brand of recycled water, and has allowed Singapore to close the water loop in 2003. New water improves Singapore's water security, increases its resilience to climate change, and also reduces the need for large water storage capacity as water is constantly recycled, which frees up our limited land for other uses. This has enabled PUB to put in place a robust and sustainable water supply strategy known as the 4 national taps: water from local catchment, imported water, new water, and desalinated water. The Housing and Development Board, Singapore's public housing authority, has test-bedded smart technologies in Punggol North Shore housing projects to create a more livable and sustainable environment for residents. In the basement car park, a vent monitoring system outfitted with jet fans automatically injects fresh air when carbon monoxide levels are deemed too high, keeping air quality in check. Also, above us are really large pipes, and these are part of the Pneumatic Waste Conveyance System, or PWCS. The PWCS is an automated waste collection system that uses a vacuum-type underground pipe network to collect household waste. Now, the entire waste collection process is automated, so less manpower is needed and productivity is increased. Now, these smart-enabled flats are pre-equipped with data points and high-tech distribution boards that enable the adoption of smart technologies. Now, residents can also monitor their energy use and facilitate changes to usage patterns for a more sustainable and eco-friendly lifestyle via the Home Energy Management System. This is a neighborhood center, and you can see that there are energy-saving smart fans and smart lights. Now, using sensors, the smart fans are activated and speed adjusted in response to temperature. The smart lights will also dim where there is no human traffic. There are also other large-scale townships such as Kampong Admiralty and Punggol Town, which have gained global recognition for their good planning, design, and sustainable development, as well as for bringing the community together. Engineers have made many contributions to Singapore. on its 50th birthday since independence, a book called Engineering a First World, 50 Feats That Transformed Singapore was published. It is a publication by the Institution of Engineers Singapore to commemorate the top 50 engineering feats in the first 5 decades of Singapore's nation building. Among the feats listed were the National Library Building, a game changer in the race to engineer buildings that are flexible, adaptive to constant changes, and reduce carbon footprint. Samwo Eco-Green Building, where engineers converted construction waste into high-grade recycled concrete aggregate that was then used to construct a 3-story eco-green building. ABC Waters at Kallang River at Bishan Ang Mo Kio Park, where engineers used recycled materials for the bioengineered slope and grew plants from leftovers of trees from national parks. And Semakau Landfill, a monumental engineering undertaking that became the first large offshore landfill then. As the National Society of Engineers in Singapore, the Institution of Engineers Singapore leads the engineering community to forge a sustainable future for Singapore. A key effort by IES in promoting sustainable development is the World Engineers Summit. WES provides a unique platform for engineers around the world to exchange ideas, knowledge, and insights with a special focus on harnessing engineering innovations to create a sustainable future. In addition, IES organizes the annual IES Charles Rudd Distinguished Public Lectures. In 2021, these lectures carried the theme of Sustainability, Impact on Our Future Lives.
IES will also want to nurture the younger generation of engineers in Singapore. We would like to enthuse the younger generation to take up engineering, to embark on all the engineering project opportunities spelled out in the Singapore Green Plan 2030. Because the future belongs to the future generation, the younger generation, and they will have to contribute towards building a more sustainable Singapore. But sustainable development is not just by one person or by one organization. So whatever Singapore is doing will not only benefit the Singapore community, but we also need the surrounding countries, the region, to come together to work out on a consolidated plan to see whether we can help to build a more sustainable region. An engineer should come together to work together to create a more sustainable future for the future generation, for the whole world.
Now I'm right here at the IES Green Building in Bukit Tinggi. Now I know that this building has incorporated the latest sustainable technologies to achieve the Building and Construction Authority's Platinum Rating Certification for non-residential buildings Green Mark version 4.0. Which is the highest standards in environmental impact and performance.
Yeah.
Now, tell me, how did this building achieve that?
Design has been a very core part from the onset of the building project. And as you can see, we have incorporated a lot of green spaces across the whole building, such as this, where you have pockets of a garden where people can hang around to share engineering ideas. Yeah. And as you come over here, you realize that we have a solar farm across the entire roof as well, which provides shading, and at the same time, it help us cover 25% of our total energy consumption.
IES lends its expertise to key national sustainable development initiatives, including the Singapore Green Plan 2030 and the ABC Waters.
For IES, we will come up with some sustainability roadmap for the next 10 years to support the Singapore Green Plan 2030. And we will work with the community, we work with the engineering community, we work with the partners, with the people to craft out this sustainability roadmap for IES for the next 10 years.
Sustainable development is a journey into the future that requires the participation of our younger generation. Youths in Singapore are empowered to play a part in environmental sustainability in line with the National Sustainability Agenda, the Singapore Green Plan 2030. The Institution of Engineers Singapore is a key partner in this endeavour. As Singapore moves towards new sustainability targets, engineers will continue to play an imperative role. Engineers are already working hard to support every aspect of the Singapore Green Plan 2030. I'm Eunice Olsen, and it's been such a privilege sharing with you all about our engineers. Now, with their ingenuity and tenacity, Singapore will definitely head towards a better, more sustainable future.